6 miles southeast of the White House.
Foxy, I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House. You just played it.
Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to our channel. Picture the largest office in the world. Do you see the massive skyscraper over Shanghai? If so, there's another one. We're talking about the most prominent offices in the world and eye candy to ordinary people, even terrorists. The Pentagon is the headquarters of the American Defense Army and the center of all decision making in America. Here are 10 things you didn't know about the Pentagon. Number 10. Eye candy to many. From the ground, it's a monumental structure, but it's the view that's centered apart from the rest. It's something known worldwide.
You say the word Pentagon, and it is something known world round.
Some consider it as the most formidable building on Earth, but the structure itself tells a different story. The old Pentagon was in terrible shape. It had gone over 60 years without renovation. Unfortunately, it's the third most attractive target in the world for terrorists. It was September 2001 when the famous building encountered a vicious terrorist attack. It was in the command control center where the maintenance workers were checking the air conditioner unit when someone told them to turn on the television and the deadly incident happened. Number 9. Unique structure. It's 5 stories high, found in Arlington, Virginia, and of course has 5 sides to it. That's why they call it the Pentagon. It's a one-of-a-kind shape that had brought its attention before it was built. Even so, it's much more than that. It was a victim to one of the world's most deadliest attacks. It houses the most powerful government agencies in the world, and it was built fast. When we look at America, we see a military superpower focusing on asserting its dominance over the world, but that wasn't always the case. The United States was isolated at first, but when it came into the state of war, they expanded their headquarters into a unique building. Number 8. Construction. The building is the headquarters of the Department of Defense and one of the largest office buildings in the world. It has about 3 times the floor space of the Empire State Building, which gives you some indication of its enormous size. However, the site in the past used to be nothing but a wasteland and dumps. It was in 1941, shortly before the US entry into the Second World War, that the decision to construct a building that gathered all defense personnel in one building was taken. The building was made to fit 27,000 people. Number 7. Institution. The Pentagon is more than just a building. It's a living and breathing organism. It has an institution that is as complex as any on Earth. A place of war, power, and tradition, it's built with history, and it is history made. It's the home of the U.S. defense establishment and one of the largest institutions in human history, the Department of Defense and its headquarters and armed services here. Over 200,000 phone calls are made here in one day. As many as 30,000 cups of coffee are dropped. The land that the Pentagon was first planned to go on was bordered on 5 sides by a road, so the architects designed a 5-sided building.
So I'm walking pretty much 2-3 miles a day backwards.
Number 6. Inside. The Pentagon is the U.S. Department of Defense history and all 4 branches of history. It's one of the world's largest office buildings with a total floor area of some 6.6 million square feet. It's 3 times the floor space of the Empire State Building. The Pentagon has 5 sides to it and is 921 feet and 3.5 inches high. It has 5 stories and 2 ground below levels. The building has 5 concentric rings of offices. Only the offices of the E-ring have windows and are usually reserved for senior officials. The 10 corridors divide the building into 5 wedge-shaped sections. Any of those 5 sections could fit a building the size of a U.S. Capitol.
Yeah.
I would like to welcome you right now inside the Department of Defense.
Number 5. Center of America. It's one of the mysterious buildings in the world that wrote the history of World War II. Be it the Korean War or any tactic of America, all the decisions are held in the premises of the building. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt was worried putting the building at that location would interfere with the view of Washington from Arlington Cemetery, so he chose to move it to its present location, but he kept the 5-sided design. All the meetings and conferences for the future of America are held in this place. The budget of this building always opens an option for America to indulge in such Cold Wars.
September 11th, 1941, just 3 months before the attack here on Pearl Harbor.
Number 4, 9/11. 194 people had lost their lives at the Pentagon on September 11, 2001. Today, many people are shocked to learn that the Pentagon has always been the subject of an attack, and far fewer are aware of those who survived. In this program, witnesses share their stories, often for the first time. Despite the unsafe circumstances around them, there are terrifying stories of creeping desperately down dim, smoky corridors, jumping from windows to flee, re-entering the inferno to locate friends, bringing the injured to safety, and tending to charred, unrecognizable co-workers.
6 miles southeast of the White House.
Foxy, I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House. You just wait to do it.
Number 3, tour. The United States Pentagon is home to the world's most powerful military, which runs secretive and dangerous defense operations around the world. The Pentagon opens tours for the public 7 times every weekday. Each year, more than 100,000 people from the United States and around the globe visit the Pentagon. Mind-boggling numbers of tour guides go on and on. The 17 miles of hallways are rich with history, and tour guides have to remember all of that.
Roughly about 23,000 people that work here on an average day.
Number 2, attack. American Flight 77 slammed into the Pentagon on 9:37 a.m. 6 members of the crew and 53 passengers were instantly killed. During the unparalleled assault on the United States, Flight 77 was the 3rd plane to reach its target. For this sort of event, there was no protocol and anarchy dominated the sky. Aviation professionals' eyewitness accounts give a larger view of the attacks in the air. As a jet-fueled inferno spread through the building, the National Military Command Center, filled with thick, accurate smoke, and computer systems came dangerously close to a meltdown. If the NMCC, the Military Operations Nerve Center, were to shut down, our military would not be able to respond to the threat.
Because there before me were some either dead or gravely injured people laying on the ground.
Number 1, zombie. The US military has long been the only position with a roadmap in the country. Incredibly, if zombies invaded and the armed forces wanted to kill flesh-eating walkers to preserve the sanctity of human life for all non-zombie human, the Defense Department has a response. Now that's amazing. If there are any more unfamiliar details about the Pentagon that we haven't listed in this video, don't hesitate to share them with us in the comments section below. And while you're doing that, go ahead and leave us a like and subscribe to our channel if you want to catch up on more awesome content such as this in the future. And with that, I bid you guys adieu.